What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast, being brought to you by BetMGM and the $1,000 offer for new users. It's a free bet, $1,000 free bet offer with the promo code JUICE at BetMGM.com. My name's Matt Perrault. How are you? You guys can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. And on the video portion, you were watching me wear another hat for a team that just had a ridiculous loss. One of my teams. Bruins lose, Celtics lose. Boston again was up by 12 points late in the fourth quarter, and they blow it again. Harden goes for 45. I just had a feeling. That's why we bet Philly plus 10.5. It's way too many points. Boston's plus 9. I'm hoping that number climbs to 10 again, and we'll again bet Philadelphia. The Boston Celtics should not be double-digit favorites. I'm sorry. That's just not the way this team plays. They're not mentally tough. They are a great basketball team. They should not be the odds-on favorite to win the NBA championship, okay? They're not better than the Nuggets. I watched all of that game and all of game one. Boston's not better than the Nuggets, okay? Jokic will destroy. I know they've got Horford, and I know that they've got Time Lord, but, man, the guard play, Denver, I think, I'm getting really close to betting Denver to win it all. I think people are completely sleeping on the Denver Nuggets. I think this team with altitude and home court and man alive, that's a good basketball team. This very well could be Denver's year. I know the Warriors and the Lakers are playing. We'll get to that game coming up here tonight for game one. I like Denver a lot. I really do. I think they're really talented. They're really fun. They're really hungry. They really, really want it. It's the one thing that Jokic needs on his resume after the two-time MVP. Everyone's like, yeah, but what do you do in the playoffs? It's great. You're awesome in the regular season, but now they want it, and now they may very well have it. Chris Paul's hurt. They're up 2-0. I think the Suns do win game 3, but game 4 will be the series. It'll be very, very interesting. We split the player props, went 1-1. Aaron Gordon now is 2-0 for us in this series, betting on his props, so we're going to keep on doing that. We missed Robert Williams. We bet over 7.5 rebounds. He had 7. He had one in his hands, and it dropped. He slipped out. They could have gotten us 8. He got pulled, didn't come back in the game, and that was unfortunate. So we missed that by the hook. We got the under first period goal right again. What a bummer that series is over because, man, that was a lot of fun. We'll come back into those. I'm considering betting it here tonight for the first period between the Stars at home against the Kraken, but I'm a little concerned about the Kraken. So I'm a little bit, I don't know if I want to do that. So given the way the Kraken play, so I'm a little hesitant to go ahead and bet that. There's no way I'm betting a first period under for Toronto and Toronto and Florida. That would be Looney Tunes. But tomorrow night, probably we'll be back on the first period under situation, jumping in. By the way, in case you're curious, it's minus 175 at some books for a first period over for Toronto and for Florida tonight. So no thank you there. The gift is, I think, 180 in that game. So, I mean, it's Bobrovsky against Samsonov. Bobrovsky has given up 10 goals, by the way, in 2 games up against Toronto. Have fun with that. And then on the road, he has not been great. He has nearly a 4 goals against average on the road this season. So, hangover from the Bruins win, everything else going kind of against them. But we'll talk more about that game here in just 1 second. 4 playoff games, 4 bets coming at you guys here tonight. I'll probably take a break from player props. I might come in with them, but I don't know. I'll probably take a break. I don't know. We'll see how the night goes because I've got a bunch of personal bets I'm going to tell you about here tonight that you guys can play on if you want a lot. I've got 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 bets going tonight. It's going to be a busy night. But before we tell you about the bets here, the official ones here on the Daily Juice, let's talk about how you guys can win a free year upgrade to BettingPros Premium. Why would you want to win that? Well, you will get access to a premium suite of tools and services to help you win more bets. Top-rated bets, including 1 to 5-star picks for spread, totals, and prop bets. Bet signals and the ability to set a custom app alert to instantly be notified of line movement for targets that you set individually. You can download the BettingPros app for free, iOS and Android stores. You can sync up sportsbooks automatically to track your bets across all major sportsbooks in one spot. Filter and track your betting performance by sport, game picks, props, parlays, and more, and get personalized recommendations for bets tailored to your interests. How do you win? Well, Like this video, subscribe to the BettingPros YouTube channel, and leave a comment underneath me, and you will be automatically entered into this contest. At the end of May, we'll announce the winner for April soon. I'll tell you who won that, and then May will come up a little bit later on. You can enter in every single day to only increase your chances of winning a very cool upgrade to BettingPros Premium. Okay, let's start with game one of the night in the NHL. Let's start with Toronto, 7 o'clock Eastern time, hosting the Florida Panthers. Total is 6.5 minus 115 to the over. Now, couple interesting things about this game. One, quick turnaround for Florida. Came off of a 7-game series. How are their legs? Okay, it's going to be a big question mark for me. How are their legs? Toronto has been waiting, getting more rest. They're at home on top of that. This building is going to be insane. I mean, inside and out. Insane. Toronto really believes they are winning this series. They were chanting, "We want Florida." They got Florida. Is that going to be something they live down to regret? Maybe, but not in game one. I think the puck line's a really good bet, okay? It's plus 165 at certain books. So I'm not going to make that official, but I'm personally on the puck line here for Toronto. I think Samsonov's going to play really well in net, and I think Bobrovsky could have a really rough night. I think this Toronto team is hungry. I think this Toronto team is going to score. Now, when these two teams played this season, Toronto won 3 of the 4 games. Toronto's wins this year were 5-4, 6-2, and 2-1. So 1-goal wins, 2 of the 3. Panthers won 3-2 in Toronto. Okay? The 2 games in Toronto went 5-4 over, 3-2 under. The problem is that Samsonov has not been playing really all that great in net. Now, yes, it was a 2-1 win in overtime in Game 6 against Tampa on the road. 4-2 in the game before that, the loss to Tampa, but then 5-4, 4-3, 7-2. We saw just a ton of offense here in the first 4 games up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was 7-3, 7-2, 4-3, 5-4. Okay, the first 4 games of the series, 10, 9, 7, 9. I expect a similar thing here in this series. Now, the end of the Bruins series actually became more like that. The beginning of the Bruins series wasn't nearly as crazy. We talked about this a lot. The Bruins, 3-1 win in game 1. That was how they had to win every game. They lost game 2, 6-3. Not good. They lost, Florida lost 4-2 and then 6-2 at home to then turn around 4-3, 7-5, 4-3, the wins. The 4 wins for Florida this year in that series against Boston, 9, 7, 12, and 7 goals. That's insane. As a Bruins fan, that's completely disgusting and unacceptable. You're giving up that many goals. That's why they lost the series. I mean, frankly, Boston won 3-1, 4-2, 6-2. Only 1 game went over that Boston won. Every other game that went over 6.5 goals, they lost. Why? Because that wasn't their game. Now, I know Olmark is going to have surgery. He's got a pretty serious injury. We knew he was hurt, couldn't move. But that's on the coach, Jim Montgomery, for playing him. I don't understand that at all. I mean, I know how low were they on Swayman. At least Swayman was healthy. They played Swayman in after game 4 or game 3 even, to put Swayman in there just to see what he could do. A lot of second guessing going on. Regardless, Bobrovsky's in net over 6.5, minus 115, official bet here. I think Toronto's going to score 5 goals. Okay, team total Toronto over. I like that. Just going to bet Toronto on the puck line, which if you shop it, I got it at plus 165. I think Toronto wins on the puck line here tonight against Florida simply because Bobrovsky is not good against the Maple Leafs and Toronto's rested at home and that building's going to be crazy. I just wonder about the emotional energy that Florida's going to have after just a monster win. I don't think they'll get blown off the ice in this series. I just wonder about game 1 against Toronto. Can Florida ratchet it right back up again and go on the road to another hostile environment against a rested team that won't be scared of choking because they got out of the first round? Toronto's playing with house money now. Bruins were so tense. They were gripping their sticks so tight the whole series. Not going to happen here with Toronto. They're going to feel much more confident. I like the goaltending. Over 6.5 goals, minus 115. Personal play on Toronto on the puck line here tonight up against Florida. Now, game number 2, Stars and the Kraken. Man, the Kraken are good on the road. They go from beating Colorado on the road to go on the road again. This is a benefit. Now, for some teams, you might be like, oh my gosh, this is really going to be tough. Not for these guys. I mean, these guys love this. They're 26, 11, and 4 this year on the road. Now, Dallas was really good at home. 22, 10, and 9 this season. But Grubauer has been playing so well, it's actually kind of insane to look at this and go, wait, how in the world are they doing this? So the Kraken, the last 4 games of their series against Colorado all went under 5.5, which is what the total is here in this game. The last 3 games for the Stars against the Wild also went under 5.5. 3-2, 4-0, 4-1. All wins, by the way. Great goaltender matchup. If Grubauer keeps playing like this, and I'm not saying Grubauer is going to keep playing like this, but if he does, which he's super hot, you knock out Colorado, you stay on the road. These guys, I think, different type of environment, different type of energy. Grubauer was better on the road this year than he was at home, as of the whole darn team. He had a 2.59 goals against average at home. And in games up against Dallas this year, he faced them 1 time, didn't have a good game. It was an overtime loss, 4 goals given up. So not great in the one game that Grubauer faced off. But the way these teams played this year, man, it's hard not to like the Kraken to win this game outright. It's so juicy. It's plus 160 at certain books for the Kraken to win. Seattle this season up against Dallas, they lost both games at home. But they won the only game this year at Dallas. They won 5-4. So, I mean, I'm personally going to take Seattle. I think the Kraken win the game. I'm going to bet this just because it's too good for a team this hot on the road to steal game 1. I think it's very possible that the Kraken just keeps this rolling and they walk into Dallas and they steal game 1. Dallas most likely wins game 2. But I think you're going to have a really tight, low-scoring game. I just think you look at 2-1, 4-1, 3-2, 3-2 for the Kraken, 4-1, 4-0, 3-2 for the Stars. I think we're looking at a very similar game here in terms of the way I think the game's going to get played from a goal perspective. Ottinger was so darn good in net this year at home. I mean, goals against average, 2.53. Not awesome, but good enough. He was 20-5. 25-8 this year. Only gave up 87 goals in 35 games played at home this year. Hit a .912 save percentage. He was outstanding at home this year for the Stars. Let's see if he can continue that, play well at home. Under 5.5, minus 120 here. 1.2 units down on this. I like the Kraken as well. I will bet the Kraken on the money line personally to jump in. I think Seattle wins the game. I'm going to bet it, but not going to make it official. But I am going to bet Seattle to win the game here tonight up against Dallas. Okay, to the NBA we go. Let's talk about the first game of the day here. And I think we're going to be in for 2 really interesting games in the NBA playoffs. So first off, hold on, let me pull that up. First up, the game tips off at 4:30 TNT. Game 2, Miami and New York. This is going to be, to me, it's the zigzag theory, but last night proved it again. You either bet the team that's favored and who cares what the point spread is, or you bet the dog. Celtics lost. Sixers plus 10.5, didn't matter. They won the game outright. The Nuggets laying 4, didn't matter. Won the game outright. Covered. The point spreads don't matter. No matter what the number is. Now, I thought take Philly because 10.5 was too high. I thought Boston would win the game. They obviously did not. I think the Knicks win the game. I'm not sure Jimmy Butler's going to play in this game. I'm not sure Jimmy Butler needs to play. They got their split. I think this is the game that Miami just throws up the white flag and says, we're good. We got the split. We're going home. We're all good. You can have it. We have home court now. We're all good. Miami was 17-24 in the regular season on the road. They weren't a great road team, so they stole game 1. I think the Knicks win and cover. I'm going to lay the 6.5 points here. I think the total, it went over 209.5. It went over that, 207.5. It went over the closing number. It went under the closing number, 210. It landed in between what we bet. I bet over 207.5. It closed at 210. It landed 209. It's 206.5. It's gone down again because Jimmy Butler's probably not going to play. I don't mind betting the under. I will have a personal bet on the under in this game. I think that that's a decent bet if you want to come in and bet the under. As I said, I got a lot going on tonight. But I'm going to lay the 6.5 with the Knicks. And just in case we get like a 109, 103 type of game, right? Or 102 type of game where they win by 7 points. I don't want to screw around with it. I'm just going to lay the 6.5 points here. I don't like it at 7, by the way. This is the highest number. I don't like 7. 6.5 is the highest number I'll go. They got to win by 7, so you could bet 7, but not 7.5. 7 might push. 7.5, I don't like. But 7, fine. 6.5 is I like that better. Find that if you can. Knicks minus 6.5 for 1.1 units. And the final bet of the night, Lakers and the Warriors. Now, I just don't understand this. Everyone's on the Lakers. Everyone. Like everyone. The entire betting community. Everyone's taking the 4.5 points. I don't know. I'm going to personally bet the Warriors. I'm just going to fade it. I'm going to be on the side of the books on this. Every book in the world is going to need the Warriors to win and cover tonight. Everyone's on the Lakers. Lakers money line, Lakers plus the points. But I think the better play is to take a look at the total. Okay? This is going to be an interesting game. The total is 228. At home this year, the Warriors were an under machine. They were 25, 17-2 to the under at home. Defensively, they play much better. The Lakers on the road were 27-17 to the over. They were very good on the road to the over this year. But coming off their series against Memphis and the fact that they've been resting, you have a really tough turnaround for the Warriors, okay? Everyone's pointing out the fact that teams that are off a 7-game series in game 1 of their next series, they tend not to cover. Like it's like a 35 to 40% shot at covering a number. They can win the game, but they will not cover. Lakers' last 2 games went under. 4 of the last 5 games against Memphis went under. For the Warriors, their last 2 games against Sacramento, including the home game, in which they lost 118-99. That went under by 19 points. The closeout game, the 120-100 win over Sacramento, that game went under as well by 9 points. So we're sitting here with a total of 228, and I think people are going to bet the over. But I think that's where the legs come in for the Warriors. That's where I think they'll slow tempo down. I don't think they're going to want to run, keep a slower pace here. Game 1 against Sacramento did go over, but that was when everybody was healthy and everybody had fresh legs. Game 1 against Memphis for the Lakers also went over. Again, game 1 of the playoffs, everyone has fresh legs. Different story now as we're into the second round. I'm going to bet over. I'm going to lay the 4.5 points with the Warriors personally. And I can get 4 here in Vegas. I'm going to wait and see how low that thing goes before I actually bet it. But if I get 3.5 or 3 or 2.5, I'm going to fade the steam on this when it comes to Golden State. I'm going to take as low of a number as I can and lay it with the Warriors. But the official play will be under 228 for Lakers Golden State game 1 of their best of 7 series. All right, so 4 bets going officially now. Okay, here are the official plays that we're betting today. Under 228, Golden State Sacramento. Minus 6.5, Knicks over the Heat in the NBA. Over 6.5, Tampa and Toronto. And under 5.5 at minus 125. Sorry, minus 120 for the Dallas Stars and the Kraken. The other plays I've got personally is Kraken money line, Toronto on the puck line, under with the Knicks and the Heat, and the Warriors minus 4.5. Those are personal plays. Official plays, though, 4 of them, mostly based on totals. I do better on totals, generally speaking, than I do on sides, but Toronto puck line plus money. Kraken money line plus money. Under is not plus money on the Knicks and the Heat, but Warriors minus 4.5. We know the trend of teams that win cover. So kind of running into that a little bit as well. Should be a fun Tuesday night. Looking forward to it. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt every single morning. It is the Daily Juice Podcast being brought to you by BetMGM.